Hi friends, we're going to do something a little bit different this time. If you've been following me, you know that I have been wanting to flip my art room around for so long. Sorry about the kitty. And that means that we're going to do a premiere today, and I will be with you in chat. So hello. And you know that it's just a lot of work. As a mixed media artist, there is so much to move. And I'm not one of those people that likes white furniture with white, clear plastic bins and all that. I like to use pretty things that inspire me, So with that said, that means that I'm not only fighting the attic space, but I'm also kind of having to move things from one bin to another because it doesn't fit anymore in the first one because my walls are short. And I moved to a desk that is L-shaped and it has more room. This side of the room is a bit bigger, but it really is a lot of work. So here I am with the premiere, and we have started, and we've been talking about doing our traveling show book. And I want this book to be one that stands up and is shaped like a tent. But I also don't want it to get cutesy, circusy, I want it to be like a grungy fun house. How's that? Grungy fun house. That's a great hashtag. But this also means that we can go crazy with color. We can go crazy and mix together things that maybe we wouldn't have otherwise. And of course, I'm going to grunge them up at the end if they're too bright. There are lots of images in books to use. I'm kind of thinking in the traveling show, we have the acrobats. I made kind of a list of, and I won't go over that right now, a list of the kind of things I want on my pages. But first, we're going to talk about construction and, the opportunities that we will have to use nutty stuff that we wouldn't normally use. And that might be, I would love to do a Moulin Rouge book later. But, just crazy stuff. There's so many old images in books, but you can also use a magazine. You can do a balancing act and have like a lady's face with a plate and a cup and use magazines. And I will have funny words to go in mine as well. So I'm going to show you kind of how I got started here and some of the things that maybe you can find thrift store, a quarter. They have lots of stickers. This came from my grandma, and I'm thinking that is the guy that shoots out a cannonball. This is from Raisins, and it's perfect. You can use your dyes. You can use your gel prints. It's a time to use things from friends that are really bright and maybe some new colors to you. There's lots of things. We made these in the last live stream, I think it was, or did I do these in the live stream? I can't remember. Yes, I think I did. But I kind of want it to have a steampunk feel and just really fun and vibrant, colorful. I'm going to use old things. I do have this I've been saving, and it's got the clown on it. This came from Temu, and wouldn't she be cool if you're going to do a regular book and put her on the cover? But when I say regular book, I'm about to show you. Don't forget about your fun stamps, your stickers. Maybe you have mini cards or, things like that you've been hoarding. And this gives us an opportunity to use them. By the way, this is my new stamp over at PM Artist Studio. And I think it's perfect for this because it has that fun house feel. Let me put this back. And this back. That raisin box was just like a dream come true there. Let's talk about construction here. So I actually found something super cool when I was doing this. There's another clown right there, You could paint girls into clowns. You can do a regular binding, by the way. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Let me get this out of the way. And if you're new here, please consider liking, subscribing. You know, well, if you're old here, please like and you know, leave me a comment. Let me know that you were here with me. Oh yeah, Tattooed Lady from a 17 magazine and some stamps. I mean, it's super easy. But I kind of started a couple pages here, and this is not the way I need to construct it. But these are a sample of what you could do. And there's my curtain right there, and I'm going to show you how I got to that. I have a ringmaster here, and I have a ringmaster card here from the book. There's that lion. This can go under the curtain. Kind of created fire here. You know, you could have, this could be a freak show. That's my painted lady. That's a old ad, you know. It says in the dark. Anyway, that was fun. And then here's with that stamp, another stamp on tissue, and, you know, just kind of showing you how you can use up some of those gel prints that maybe are very bright and colorful. So let's get into this. This is the kind of book I would like to make. And I have a template that I started with. So I did this, and it's pretty simple. I mean, you don't have to have the extra swoop in here. You can just do one. Eventually, it's going to have some, this is old. I mean, I did this a long time ago, but I think it would be fun to create those. Like I said, don't want it to be cutesy. But, you know, I want it to say fun house, you know. It gives us an opportunity to use, you know, geometric stencils and things that we just haven't been using. So I used this shape. I thought I might even use some of these pages, so I used the cover here. And I cut out, just with some ugly gel prints, some that I liked, some that, you know, just were like roll-offs. And I cut out and glued them back to back. So that means I'll do one with you here. I hope I'm in focus. I had a really hard time finding a place to clamp my camera thing. And I do have to have my husband come and move the mount for the computer for my next live stream. Which there's an extra Saturday in this month. And if I get this room mostly done, I will come back and do a fun little video or a live in between. If not, then I will see you on our regular schedule, which is the first and third Saturday of each month. And that'll give everybody a chance to kind of play with these and let me know if you're going to do this. I'd really like to know. These are just old. I went through some old stuff, and it's all kinds of things. That one I kept white for a reason, because these can be, I love this construction. It can be laid flat like this and used just like an art journal. So it's kind of a combination of an art journal, a junk journal. I'm not going to go super, like, I'm not going to put like pockets and all kinds of stuff like that in it. I want it to be a canvas, basically, for, you know, polka dots and stripes and fun colors and an explosion of creativity. But that can have a curtain. Just a whole lot of stuff to get me started. And I may paint over it. I may leave it. Sorry, my cat's in here. Time to use those scrapbook papers that you have not been using. It's a good chance. So you're going to want to use some heavier paper back to back, or a piece of cardstock with the thinner paper. These are just cardstock. So it's a really significant, like, I mean, it's sturdy. It's a very sturdy book. In the end, I would like for, see this? I would like for stripes to show here and there. So with that said, I wanted a curtain, and I will show you that in a minute, but let's find the end of this, and we will cut one. So that's my template. Oh, I have some cut out here. I planned ahead for this. Look at that. Okay, so I just sat and cut out different things, you know, and I thought that looked like fire. Even though the other side is really cool, I like that side too. And then you can use other papers too. I mean, they don't have to be that shape. You want your pages to be strong. That's all. And you can put lots of pages in this style of book. Let's use this one because it looks like a party to me. That was done on the gel plate, you know, with a very sort of fun stencil. Just a cheap one. And all I did, cut it out. And then what I do is glue these back to back. Now I'm going to start with a glue stick. Okay. By the way, going through things. Oh, hello, kitty. Are you going to help? Going through things. I found things I forgot I had. And honestly, you know how art goes through an ugly stage, I always say. Well, this has gone through an ugly stage too, because there were a couple days I was like, what have I done? I want to put everything back. But it was too far. I had gone too far. And really, I've been thinking about doing this for years because of the way the room is set up. And Kitty, please. I knew it was going to be a lot of work. But looking at the 5 Saturdays in this month, that's how I decided this was my shot, you know. I'm going to muster all the energy I can, which is only a few hours a day. And it might take me longer, but as soon as I get like the desk area set up and, you know, the zones started, I will feel better. So sorry about my kitty. She's going to ride on my shoulder. Okay, so what I did, I also used some good glue, but the first thing I want to do, because it doesn't grab as quickly and I need to line it up, is put these back to back. So that means that these two papers, which are printer paper, become stronger because they're together. But usually I did try to put like, and I'll put more things on this. Kitty, really. But, you know, that's what I was saying. She's a distraction, isn't she? Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go down the middle. And what I'll end up doing is using my super good glue around the edges. But this helps if you... she wants to play too. This helps if you, like, tap it down this way. We did this with the round moon book as well, which is so cool when it's open. But I just want it to be mostly even. It doesn't have to be perfect because they will help each other out. Like, one can be shorter. You can trim it at the end if you want. Then I'm going to use some good glue. Go around these edges. Boy, I haven't been able to make anything for, well, all week. I started this on Monday. And I have been unable to do anything else. My poor husband has been eating like hamburgers and... Kitty, you're not part of this, Bubby. He's been eating like hamburgers and rotisserie chicken from Walmart and, you know, whatever is quick. And he's usually pretty spoiled. So I had to pre-warn him this was going to happen. Why do you think you need to be here, baby? What are you doing? She thinks I'm talking to her, I guess. So you get the idea where I kind of went around the edges just to make sure that it stays in place and give it strength. You can use, where did my pen go? You can use like decoupage glue, and then your pages will be extra stiff and extra like substantial, really. So I just want to, yeah, being a mixed media assemblage artist means you have a lot of stuff, or any sort of a mixed media artist, because we want to try everything, don't we? I mean, we want to put our hand in, you know, we see something new and we're like, I need to try that, you know. So I also assemble things with like rusty bits and stuff. So I have a lot of stuff like that. And I do have bins downstairs. I'm going to put her in her bed here. Otherwise, I have to walk her through Bill's room, and she doesn't like that. I have to go through his drone room to get to my art room. Okay, so that's down, and now I want to show you the trick I learned when doing this. So first of all, when you cut these out, you're going to end up with pieces like this. And I thought, what a cool curtain that would be. And I'm not going to put them on all of them because I want to have a plane to work on. You know, need some substrate here. But it kind of gives me that curtain vibe, and it would need trimmed. However, it's not really big enough and doesn't really do the job. I guess it could, or it could be maybe sides on the curtain. But what I ended up doing, you don't have to have red and white paper, just to let you know, it's not necessary. You can paint it. You could get a piece of, you know, cardstock or whatever you like to paint on and do red and white stripes. You could use a stencil. I just, when it stands up, want it to have some of this showing. So it, you know, screams traveling show. Hope I'm not talking too fast. All right, so what I did is I took a piece, and I really don't have a lot of scrapbook paper, but it was really odd that I had 4 pieces of this. I don't know where it came from. I only have one kind of container of scrapbook paper, so it's really random that this was in there. So the first thing I might want to do is spray it, but for the camera, I'm not going to. What I did was I decided on a shape. And with this shape, I made these. So I'm going to turn it over, actually, because it's distracting. I know I want the stripes to go this way. And what happened was when I cut it out, I ended up with pieces that went together like this. Seriously, it made, I mean, these are all from the same, do you see that? And then the piece in between is a curtain too. So it worked out really well. I just, you know, measured the top and then decided how swoopy I wanted my curtain. And these will just be on random pages. So it's a good chance to use some of that scrapbook paper, honestly. The other thing I wanted to share, I wanted to ask you if you have seen Carnival. That was, I think it was on HBO, and it was a really dark and twisty sort of bootleg era show on. It was so good. It was so good. And now we also have Carnival Row on Amazon, and that also has that feeling. And they have fairies in that one too. You could make an entire Carnival Row, make it dark and twisty, and add fairies to it. Seriously, girl. Seriously. I don't know what you're doing. Stop it. So I'm going to pull out some, I'm going to find a page here and kind of show you the color explosion. I did not plan this, by the way. This was not planned. And maybe I could start with one of these. That's a PM Artist Studio stencil made by my friend Rhonda Dona. And you can find her and stencils and stamps and how to use them over at the Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists Facebook group. And everybody's wonderful over there to share. You can also tag me, Texture Junkies, on Instagram, and I will see what you do. I think that would be great. Let's use one of these messed up ones here and maybe add some curtain to it. Need to make sure that the curtains are farther apart. Yeah, that one's not a curtain, but yeah, I get it. That was like a roll off or a pickup. Something I was working on. But I think it would be fun to use one of these. This is a spray, so it might move a little too. I did not plan this. I do not know kind of what my plan is here, but let me go through some of these. So I have these in these fun colors. Let's see. And maybe I want to do, I think I'm going to use that one. Maybe I want to do like, that one's nice. nice too. I need to grunge this up so I can see it properly. Oh. See, this looks like the knife thrower to me. Like the girl would be on the wheel. And the thing with this size that I chose, which was just a piece of printer paper folded in half, means that I have to have everything on in the smaller area. So I may go oversized with one thing and you know, play with scale a bit. But for the most part, I'm limited here, especially when there's a curtain. So what I want to do is use this one, I guess. Chat, chat, chat. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let me see. So this is a good time to use tickets, things like that. I need a focal point first, and my friend Julie wanted me to go through these again and the kind of steps that I use. And I think of when I'm building something, I think of it like a band. So first of all, you need a vocalist. You need a singer, right? And then you need your instruments. And then you need your backup singers. And on and on. And I kind of think of it like you're starting at the front of the stage and working your way back. So that's how I think when I'm doing something like this. I will go with my focal point first and kind of decide what it is, so then I can start planning the other stuff. And let me do this. Let's do her. I think I'm going to cut her out. And there's a fire breather. These came in, I don't know, a little set on Temu. But if you look on, oh, that's good too, because, oh, nope, that one. If you look on Amazon and you do want circus images, you want to purchase a book, they are average about $12, and there's a lot of really cool ones on there with vintage circus stuff. And by the way, I have a big hardback circus book somewhere that I still haven't found that I put aside for this future project. Do you do that? It's pretty bad. So I want to use these girls. They're my focal points. And then these cards are so cool. You can also find lots and lots of awesome images on Pinterest. I know that I'm not, what is the subscription that everybody has? I can't think of the name of it right now. I'm not on that, but I have friends that are, the Graphics Fairy. And I know that she has a circus set. Circus, Carnival, Snake Oil Salesman. I'm just thinking of this like the traveling show. Let me check the angle of my camera. See if you're seeing all this right. So maybe I can find the girl in here also to add. These are upside down. This is great because I'm thinking we could go through this and pick some cards in the next live and decide that that is the thing we're going to work on, you know. There's the contortionist. There's the trapeze. Mixed media assemblage means I can put some 3D things in here, but I kind of want to keep it relatively flat because I want it to close up. And I also want to be able to work on an even plane sometimes with the paintbrush and whatever, you know. Okay, that's good. Yeah, those would be fun to draw out. So I just don't think, and I don't know, these are small enough images though. I could also go with this guy. He's really cool. And maybe even put him at a fun angle. I don't know. I don't want to fussy cut him out for this right now. So I'm going to cut some girls out here. And I'm also going to use a stencil on here. See if I can find stuff, because like I said, I've moved my desk over and over and over. So I've moved the stuff on it so many times it is ridiculous. Because I'm like, okay, this fits under the slope, and oh my gosh, this doesn't fit here anymore, or my cart doesn't fit under the desk on this side, but it fit on the other side. I did gain a lot of space, but you know. Okay, so if I go with some geometric fun here, let me see. I'm thinking like I can use this one. Let's use this one because it's out. And make some shapes here. Let's do that. This is just a cheap stencil. I just want to cover up some of this madness and give me a place to doodle, maybe, possibly. Do I want to cover the whole thing? Do I want to cover some of it? What if I just went like right there? This is going to be so fun when it's done. I'm very excited. Okay, what am I planning on using here? I could use some of this paint, perhaps. Maybe some yellow iron oxide. I don't know if it'll show up. I bet it will. It probably will, right? Probably will. I just don't have all my stuff out over here yet, or it's buried. I also have these, but they're very bright, so maybe not. But let's see what happens, because I do love these colors. They're muted. They're, you know, they have a grungy feel. Those are the colors I like generally. So let's not go crazy. Maybe I need a light color. Maybe I need like a cream. What do you think? Let me see if I can find one. Hold on. I'm not set up for all this yet, but I'm trying here. Gold, white. Let's see. Oh, okay. I did find some. I'm also rethinking my carts. What do you keep on your cart? I want to know. Inquiring minds and all. I have this one, Beachcomber Beige. It's just to push some of that madness back and give me a place to go from there. So this would be the backup singers, because they're not prominent, but they are part of the show, if you use the band analogy. Okay. Let's see here. And what am I going to put this on with? I know I have a sponge here. Where did my sponge go? Seriously. Told you I didn't plan this, and I can't find anything. I know I have a sponge. I moved it 9 times. Is that it? Oh, look at that. So I have that. And I know I have a palette. Oh, I know I do. Not a palette. Oh, found one. Didn't plan this. So we're live the first and third Saturday of each month, and we have such a wonderful group in chat. So if you're new to my channel, you can come hang out with us and be part of the party. We don't always do, I am kind of the big project girl, but you know, I encourage you to, you know, if you just want to make some ATCs like Becky decided to do, or if you just want to make a regular, you know, journal, come hang out with us, get some ideas, have some fun. You know, I'm just gonna kind of, I should just use a stencil brush, honestly. I just don't even know where everything is. I need some coffee. All this fast talking. If you're watching on replay, I don't mind if you want to make me a chipmunk. It's part of the fun, and I don't have a lot of time to watch videos, so I often make people chipmunks. Just fair warning. I do talk fast already, so maybe it's hard to make me a chipmunk. Let's see how it's looking. Yeah, see, I'm just kind of pushing that back a little bit and making it less crazy. Just over here, maybe. Over here, she wants out. I might have to stop my camera here for a second and let her walk her through because he doesn't like her in his room when she gets into stuff. Okay. Oh, look at that. Okay, I'm going to stop my camera and I will be right